during the meeting, just feel free to get up, but take one. Here, and we got another bag over
Mari
there.
has the Almond Joys for those of you who are not dark chocolate fans. You know, so, I mean, you can grumble with Mari about that.
Here we go.
She just took the bag and said, mine, you know.
Let's take a minute of a moment of silence together, please. I think I could enjoy this for a long time. Folks, I'm looking around. We have a quorum present. We have 5 people from the Board of Adjustments available. I think we have 3 that are not here tonight. One is traveling to Italy. What do you think, Angie?
So for the special use permit, we need to have at least 3 out of 4. Correct?
3 out of 5. We have to have a majority.
You count me.
Says with a minimum attendance of 4 members, we need to have 3 out of 4 members voting for approval.
Yeah.
And what the variance, I'm not sure about.
So the board has sufficient members to entertain a special use permit. This board has enough people to hear that case. This board does not have enough members present to hear a variance, because a variance requires a supermajority of 80% of the makeup of the board. So for this board of 7, that would be 6 people. So unless there is another member or an alternate member who can get here in relatively short order, we will not be able to hear the variances. I booked off my evening, so I'm not going to be the limiter on how long we can wait for an alternate to get here. But if the board wants to hear those variance matters, we should take action to get an alternate member here.
What I would like to do is move forward and in our in-between times try to get that 6th person here for our variance requests. But we can move forward with our special use. Is that right?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yeah. So let's do that. And maybe, Angie, I know Matt Horn was... No?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because Bill's in Italy, I know that.
Okay, so that means the only person we could potentially get would be Ed Kramer. He was predisposed, but he might be able to join us for the latter part of the meeting. And if you could reach out to him and tell him we need him, that would be helpful. Okay, so we move to adopting the agenda, and I think the staff wants to speak to adopting our agenda. We have a couple of things we need to add to the agenda before we can adopt it.
Sure. So there are 2 written orders that will need to be added. I think Angie sent you a copy prior to the meeting, and there's some here if you need it. The second thing, I'll kind of speak a little bit to it, but I'll also get our attorney Brandon to piggyback on that. But the first item we had was a special use permit request for the Land Care Committee for the handicapped accessible trail, Montreat Memorial Garden, and various other welcome area, various other things. However, what Brandon had told me today was since there should be a 2-year time frame on these special use permits, and because of Helene, these permits were extended out. And I think what did you say? It was January 1st, 2024 to December 31st, 2027? Is that correct?
That's right on the end date. So when this matter was first put on the board's agenda, or when the decision was made to pursue an extension of this special use permit, and I'm going to let the applicant correct me if I get any of this wrong, but my understanding is that when the decision was made to put this on this board's agenda, it was before the storm hit. The storm, as we know, hit about this time last year, so in September of 2026. The permit that we are talking about was issued in August of 2024, which means it would have expired in August of 2020. I'm sorry, it was issued in August of 2022, so it would have expired in August of 2024. So it would have been expired well before the storm hit. After the storm hit, the legislature passed an emergency act related to Helene, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting what it was called. The Disaster Recovery Act, I'm sorry. And in the Disaster Recovery Act, which had a lot of things in it, one of the things it had in it was extending permits. But it didn't just extend permits that happened at the storm and after. It went back to January 1st of 2024 and extended all of those permits to the end of 2027. So if you had a permit that was valid at any time in 2024, then your permit was extended. So this permit was valid on January 1st of 2024. So it is within those group of permits that was extended to the end of 2027. So that is not something we knew when the decision was made, or not something the applicant knew when the decision was made to put this on this board's calendar. But it's my legal opinion that their permit was extended by the Disaster Recovery Act.
I'd like to receive a motion, if I could, to add the 2 written orders to the agenda for this evening. Could I get a motion for that?
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. And then I would like to see a motion to remove this first special use permit from the agenda tonight. Is there such a motion?
And Mr. Chair, before we do that, may we have the applicant just come up for the record? And the applicant, I think, still does have a choice. If they
Good.
would like to have the board hear this matter, I think they may.
Okay.
But we'll let the applicant come up and say whether they would like for the item to be removed. I think an alternative would be to have the item continued to another date if you wanted to take time and look at it, or you could have your item heard tonight.
Can we ask a question?
Of course.
As long as we're up the microphone.
Yes, move up to the mic, please.
Sorry.
As long as the work begins before 2027, well before this year, let's call it this year, then as long as work is in progress, does the special use permit continue even if we're still working at the end of 2027?
So this is a question that you'd have to ask your legal advisor, but I can generally tell you that permits stay valid as long as you're working on them.
Okay.
Right?
That's what
That you don't have to complete your project by that date, but
It just has to be.
there cannot be an uninterrupted period, a voluntary cessation of activities for a certain period of time.
Okay.
So-
The only reason it would be a voluntary cessation would be for trout mating season or other environmental restrictions that cause us to have a temporary delay during the process.
And these periods are long periods, longer than a trout mating period, so.
Okay, we're
yeah.
fine. Yeah.
Talk
All
to
good. Thank
talk
you.
to your legal counsel. But,
Would you like to speak to continuing this or removing it from the agenda?
Let's remove it from the agenda.
Okay.
Are we in agreement? Maybe?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to receive a motion to remove this item from the agenda for today. Is there a second? Those in favor say aye. Those opposed, the motion carries. Okay, so our next item would be let me see here. I'd like to vote let me see how I put this here. I'd like to consider the minutes from the last meeting, which was in June 26.
Approve the agenda as amended first.
Oh, thank you very much. We need a motion to approve the agenda as amended. Is there a motion?
So moved.
So moved. A second? Yes. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Okay, now, I'd like to receive are there any additions or corrections to the minutes from June 26th? There being none, could I receive a motion to adopt those minutes, approve those minutes from June 26th?
So move.
A second? Those in favor say aye. Those opposed, the motion carries. Now we would like to move to approving the two, what are they called, special orders? What are we calling these things? Say it again. We need to, can we approve those together, or do we need to approve them separately?
I think separately would be better.
Okay. I'd like to receive a motion to approve the written order of case number VA 2025-02. Is there a motion to that extent?
So move.
A second. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries. Now I'd like to receive a motion to approve case number VA 2025-03, the written order. Is there a motion? So moved. Second. Those in favor say aye. Aye. The motion carries. All righty, good deal. So we've covered all of our kind of logistical issues for now, and now we're ready to, I think what I'd like to do is, I'd like to see if there is anyone here in the Board of Adjustments that needs to disclose any ex parte communication that they've had on any of the any of the variances or special use permits that are before us. And I would just say that I would like to disclose that I had a very wonderful conversation with Alexis this morning, and thank her for all of her hard work in preparing this and trying to get clarity on what the issues were before us. Is there any other ex parte communication that we need to disclose? Okay. Is there any need for any of us to recuse ourselves from either of the two special use permits or the variances that we'll be considering this evening? Anybody needing to recuse themselves to that? Okay. And then lastly, I'd like to know if there is anyone in our group here with us today who would like to speak who would like to ask for standing to come before us for any of these items that are with us today. Okay. Could you come and sign in and let us know who you are? And maybe you could just stand up and also tell us who you are and what you're hoping to talk about. Richard, could you come to the microphone, please?
My name is Richard Dybert, speaking to one of the variances. Okay. If it will be considered.
Okay, great. Thank you. I believe you already have standing. Yeah.
My name is Jason Gillen with Site Design Studio, and I'm speaking on one of the variance requests.
Okay, good.
I'm April Carter, and I'm here for the Dasher application.
Okay.
In the event there are questions.
Great, thank you. Okay, I think we've now covered all of our logistical issues. So I'd like to proceed by beginning with our first order of business tonight, which is our second special use permit, the Dasher property. And I'm wondering if, Alexis, you would like to be, we need to swear some people in? Yeah. Thank you. So all the people that will be coming to speak need to be sworn in.
Okay.
There's always so many of these little niggling things, aren't there?
Put your left hand on the Bible.
Oh, there you go.
A red Bible. It's hot.
Yeah.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Do you? I do.
Okay.
Thank you all. Alexis, as our zoning and variance person, would you begin with sharing your report on the Dasher property?
Sure. We're going to start with, since the first one was removed, we're going to start with Number 2, if Josh, you can pull up number 2. Fantastic, thank you so much. So this special use permit is from Grant Dasher, who's the property owner. He's requesting the approval of a special use permit to build an accessory dwelling unit at 167 Virginia Road, PIN number 071075493000000. Hopefully I got all those in. The subject property is zoned R2 residential district and requires a special use permit in this district per Article 5, our zoning district regulation, Section 500, permitted uses table 1. Next slide, please. This is an overview of the zoning. As you can see, it is surrounded by R2. Next slide, please. Next slide, please, Josh. You can get there. Oh, might be stuck. All right. Well, there we go. Fantastic. Again, here is the subject property overview. Owner is Grant Dasher. It is 0.58 acres. Current zoning is R2. There's single-family residential on that property. Surrounding that property is R2. It actually is Overbrook Road. It's to the north. To the south is also R2. That's Virginia Road. East is R2, single-family residential, and west is R2, single-family residential. Next slide, please. Here are some of the staff findings, and this is pulled from section 619.1. An accessory dwelling unit shall be located only on a residential lot containing one single-family detached structure. The residential lot may contain other accessory structures as provided in this ordinance. Only one accessory dwelling unit shall be permitted per lot. No accessory dwelling unit shall exceed the height of the principal structure. The accessory dwelling unit shall meet the appropriate setbacks. The accessory dwelling unit shall be clearly subordinate to the main structure. The accessory dwelling unit must contain a complete kitchen facilities, including a stove or cooktop, full bath, including lavatory, water closet, and tub or shower or combination. At least one parking space shall be provided in addition to those required for the principal dwelling. Manufactured housing, campers, travel trailers, and recreation vehicles are not permitted for use as an accessory dwelling unit. And finally, accessory dwelling unit shall be occupied by no more than 4 people. Next slide. So hopefully you guys can see that. So the building outlined in orange is the existing dwelling unit to be demolished. The building outline is in red, is the new accessory dwelling unit. The applicant indicated on the plan that by demolishing the existing accessory dwelling unit and rebuilding, the new accessory dwelling unit will be outside the 30-foot stream buffer in a 100-year floodplain, which is also known as the special flood hazard area. The subject property has a double frontage on Virginia Road and Overbrook Road. There is a 30-foot setback required. Yeah. Can you move it up a little bit? Up.
Zoom in.
Yeah, other way. Yeah, so you see where that blue is? That is where, that blue arrow there, that is the boundary for the 100-year floodplain. And you see there's a 30-foot stream buffer. And of course, there's a stream that runs through the middle of that. So as you can see, that new accessory dwelling unit will actually be pulled out of those sensitive areas. Next slide, please. These are some additional findings. The erosion and sediment control is not required because that is only required when 1 acre or more is uncovered, and that lot is not that large. Stormwater measures will be required, so there is some anticipation that due to disturbing more than 5,000 square feet of area and more than 24% of the total lot will include impervious surface, and that's what makes those come into play. There's no slopes above 40%, so hillside development ordinance won't be a problem. Subject property does have the 100-year floodplain, so there is a potential that there could be the flood damage and prevention ordinance applies, even though that building is pulled the new accessory dwelling unit will be pulled out of that floodplain. Applicant indicates that there may be a new parking area proposed off of Overbrook Road. So a new right-of-way agreement and cut permit may be required. Next slide, please. This is the comprehensive plan, proposed townwide plan. And when we looked at that, the subject property falls within the existing residential R2. So you can see approximately where I put that red star. So it is in compliance with what the comprehensive plan is calling out for the area. So next slide, please. So this is kind of where I end. This is the Board of Adjustments decision. So you will look at it and decide if the requested permit is within the jurisdiction. The application for the permit is complete. If complete as proposed, in the application, the development will comply with all the requirements of this ordinance. All findings of fact listed in section 310.62 are found to be made. And as a reminder, the Board of Adjustment may impose reasonable and appropriate conditions. Next slide, please. And these are the findings that the board will look at when they make their decision. So with that, I conclude this presentation. I'll stand by for any questions that you may have. Appreciate you all.
Any questions that we have of Alexis? Would the applicant like to make any comments or say anything about this special use permit?
I can say something quickly if that's okay, and then maybe if you want to speak afterwards.
Identify yourself, please.
Grant Dasher, 167 Virginia Road. We did receive some flood damage on the property during Helene, and I looked at trying to fix it, and we got into it, and it just wasn't a good idea based upon what was done in conjunction with just where the building was in terms of it was not in great shape to begin with. So, this is just from a general standpoint of getting that building out of that floodplain and putting the accessory dwelling unit within the setbacks, I think is an improvement upon what's there now. And what we are looking at is putting essentially gonna try to get some plants back in that area where that slab is, getting the slab up, getting the house removed, get some plants back in there closer to the creek. I think it's I love creeks, I love water, I love Montreat. I think this is gonna be an improvement based upon what's there now and what we're gonna put in afterwards. So,
thank you.
And April, maybe you have anything to say.
I'll just make myself available for any questions the board may have since I did the site plan.
Any questions or comments that we have for April?
Could you speak into the mic a little closer?
Yes, I'm available for any questions. I did the site plan and can probably answer what you might want to know regarding the property. Oh, okay.
Okay, are there any of the members of the public who would like to provide testimony as proponents of this application to the board? How about the opposite of that? Are there any who would like to provide testimony as opponents of this application to the board?
If possible, sorry. I would like to, if possible, to request the applicant to go through those findings above.
I didn't hear you. I'm
I'd like
sorry.
to request the applicant to go through these findings above.
And I just want to make, just to clarify for folks watching, these are not findings yet. This is just on a slide. So these are the standards. And I'm actually looking at, these are the things that the board must find before it may issue a special use permit. Could we turn to the standards in 619.1? If there's a slide, Josh, I don't know if that was on one of the slides. So I'm happy to read them out. The first, and this may have been covered by the zoning administrator, an accessory dwelling unit shall be located on a residential lot containing one single-family detached structure. The residential lot may contain other accessory structures as provided in this ordinance.
Yes.
It might be helpful if you could look at these.
Okay.
Let's see.
And so the question is,
The board just needs to hear some evidence that was done.
oh, okay. So essentially, one accessory dwelling would be removed and replaced within compliance to zoning guidelines with another accessory dwelling. So there would still only be one accessory dwelling on the lot.
And there would still be a single-family detached structure on that property as well?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
Are these on packet
These are
page
the
71?
Maybe.
These are the findings that we must achieve, the Board of Adjustments must achieve.
Right.
Page 71 of our packet. Number 1 is the use will not be detrimental to or endanger.
No. I'm sorry, no, Mr. Chair. These are the standards that are in 619.1 of the zoning ordinance.
Is that in our packet anywhere that we can see? We can look at the same thing together, because I'm not seeing it.
So you're speaking to the accessory dwelling unit, 619. So that is on one of the slides. Can we go back on the slide? Keep going. Keep going.
What page in our packet is that?
It's page 6.
What?
So I think a lot of these were covered by the zoning administrator, but
Yes.
maybe not all of them. So if the applicant could talk to how these are all being met with the project.
Okay. So the finished height of the new accessory dwelling unit, addressing item number 3 on that slide, is 25 feet, and that takes you to the top of the smokestack that looks like a vent pipe for a wood stove. So the ridge line is actually about 2 or 3 feet below that.
Good.
So, and it is well within the appropriate setbacks. The dwelling unit shall clearly support. It is very definitely going to be much smaller than the main structure. And it does have complete kitchen facilities and a full bath. And we extended the footprint by 2 feet so that we could make 36-inch doorways and make it more resident-friendly for aging in place. And there will be, if everything goes as planned, at least 2 parking spaces off of Overbrook Road. So that will be low-tech, nothing real formal, kind of tucked into the landscape. Definitely not going to have any manufactured housing campers or travel trailers or recreational vehicles. not in the plan. And at this time, the maximum number of occupants is anticipated to be 2 at the most on a good weekend. Generally, just 1.
Okay, so we have covered the development standard 619.1. We've met those requirements.
Do we need to go over the 310?
The findings of the staff over sediment control, erosion and sediment control is not required. We know that finding. You mentioned that.
But may I
Yes.
state, please, that I do have illustrated on the site plan that there should be erosion and sediment control in place since you are in a stream buffer
Okay.
zone for construction. So
Right.
that needs to be adhered to.
Yeah. The stormwater management ordinance is going to be required for this property. I think we went over that as well, fairly significantly. The subject property is in the 100-year floodplain, but this new accessory dwelling is not going to be. We think potentially that could be a bonus. I think that's covered the staff findings.
Yep.
Let's see.
And again, just a clarification on that heading, those staff findings, those are the standards that are in the ordinance. Staff doesn't really make findings, that's for the board. I'm sorry that we didn't take that out.
We use that language, yeah. Okay. What would we use for that? Staff?
So for these would be standards. These would be standards from the ordinance.
Okay.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah, I'll substitute that in the future with standards. I think that's probably
Yep.
the best
Yep.
language.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry for not catching it.
I'm trying to remember. Okay. We have covered all of the staff report, the evidentiary hearing. We've listened to anybody who wanted to speak, including the applicant. And so I think we're ready to go into the deliberation for the Board of Adjustments. We'd like to leave that as an open deliberation, which means that we may invite a question to someone in the audience that we need to get clarity on as we deliberate, but it is not for the audience to speak into our deliberations. So for this moment, I'd like to close our conversation or close our evidentiary hearing, open up the staff deliberation time. And so the 5 of us are now open to have this conversation. Anybody want to make a comment about what they're seeing, questions you have, concerns you have, hopes you have?
Grant, I guess you're happy to have that other house out of the floodplain.
Yes.
Is it a mess? Did it collapse or what? I haven't.
I had water. Grant Dasher, 167 Virginia. There was water coming in from like multiple different directions.
Yeah.
When I got the drywall out and the carpet up, I found not active termite damage because we treat against that, but there was termite damage, and then there was someone had built the plumbing on the outside of the wall and tried to frame it. None of it was done the way that I would have wanted it to be done. And what's the expression? You can't squeeze blood out of a turnip. And that's where we got to with that. It was just too much water damage. It needed a new roof. The roof that's there is not pitched according to what current codes are, and so you need to have a steeper pitch. There were a lot of things. If I were trying to build that now, obviously you couldn't, and so it's going to be a vast improvement both for my mother-in-law and I think for the creek, for the town. It's going to be a win-win-win for everyone. So,
Sounds good.
Yep. Does anybody else have any questions while I'm standing here?
No, but we'll continue deliberating together. I just noticed that this seems like a really good use of of this property. It's an improvement. I like the way it's been put onto the property without requiring any variance. That's really nice. It's out of the floodplain. It seems like a really good ask for special use. Okay, so we have a motion, and these are always complicated things to do. We need to receive a motion to accept this, this evidentiary hearing report and to speak to all the findings of what's required, and the findings are listed, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the findings. These are what need to be found, page 71 and 72. Brandon, would you confirm that with me, please? These are the findings we need to speak to, or we need to put in our motion.
The answer is yes, I've got it on my phone. Mr. Chairman, the answer to your question is yes. It's right here, 71 and 72.
71, 72.
I would agree.
Yeah, okay. So we did have a template of a motion, and I would like for someone to attempt to make this into a motion. David, you had that there.
You want to go for it?
Yeah.
All right.
Go for it.
I move that the board approve the special use permit for 167 Virginia Road to allow an accessory dwelling unit per section 500 permitted uses table, table 1, permitted uses table. And if you're interested, that came from our packet, page 72, if you want to read it.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the motion carries. Thank you very much.
Go build your house.
Yeah. Well, have you torn down the old one?
We'll get started very quick.
Well, friends, I am very sad to say that we cannot continue in the variance discussion. And I believe that this is my fault. I understood that we needed a 4/5 vote, meaning we needed 4 out of 5 people, and not 4 out of 6 people or 5 out of 6 people. I did not understand that that was our need. And so when we had a person say they couldn't join us today, I was trying to seek clarity on the quorum, and I couldn't find it in this information, and I just, my apologies. We cannot continue with the variance request without having a 4/5 majority of 6 people from the Board of Adjustment. So that's on me. It's totally my responsibility, and I really apologize and want you guys to know how much I know it cost you to get here. And we thought we had everything lined up and ready to go for today. We worked hard at that, but this was a little piece that I didn't get in touch with in the ways that I had wanted to. So it just grieves me deeply. I'm sorry.
Forgiveness given.
Yes. Yes, please, if you'd come to the microphone.
I just want to say thank you for that apology. Going forward, how can we know, or when can we get on the slide again, and how do we let our folks, the engineer, the contractor know we're in good standing to go.
Yes,
Because
yes,
like
yes.
you, we're good. It's a tough
Yeah.
thing for these guys to
Yes,
take time. And
yes,
thank you
yes.
for your apology.
Ugh,
These
I'm
things
so sorry.
do happen.
Yeah.
They do happen. But how does that work? Do you guys,
We will have another Board of Adjustment meeting the 4th, what is today? Thursday of October. That will be our next
Okay.
Board of Adjustment meeting.
Last
Okay.
Thursday in October.
okay, great.
Yeah.
And the 23rd of October, okay. Any chance it could go sooner, or do we need to stay on that track?
Danny, can't we hear it then?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you?
Can't we hear it then, the last Thursday in October?
Yes.
Good, okay.
No,
Angie, we have any,
okay, but if something evolves, would that be a possibility and maybe work for?
What?
Okay, like a special meeting or anything?
I can try.
Okay. All right. I know your plate is full.
I don't know what our notice requirement is for a special meeting, but perhaps that's something we could consider earlier, but that does throw things into a confusion. But
Okay.
we'll see what we can come up with.
All right, that's great. That's all we can ask.
Yeah.
Are you available on that last Thursday?
I'm available. I don't know if my folks are. Okay, yes, that would be a yes.
So you would be?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, ma'am. That's correct. Okay. All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, so sorry, friends. So sorry. I know you guys have come and
Richard Dybert again. We're fine with this. I appreciate your humility. I appreciate your work. We can be available at that moment in October as well, and it will cause no problems at all. So thanks very much.
Thank you.
It's been fun to
Great.
watch.
Thank you, Richard.
all righty. Any other items of business? I think that's it for us today.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
just
we
as
do
a
have-
housekeeping matter, I would continue those two variance matters to a date certain. I would trust Angie to tell me what that date is rather than me trying to figure it out on the calendar. Or I can help. It's the
It's the 23rd of October.
23rd of October.
Alexis and I are out a Thursday in October, and then we have a lot of meetings. So I don't think it could be
Any
sooner.
earlier. Let's
And
keep
and
it
this
with
would not
October
foreclose
23rd.
that.
It's at 5 o'clock.
We'd like to, I guess, a motion to continue these two variance requests is in order for October 23rd.
I so move.
Is there a second? Second. Those in favor say aye. Aye. The motion carries.
Who gave the motion? I'm sorry. Who gave the motion and the second?
Motion. Second.
Okay.
Motion.
Okay.
And this does not foreclose the possibility of staff still looking for a special meeting date in the interim.
Right.
But I think Angie has, I trust her to know her calendar pretty well.
Yeah. And for all of us Board of Adjustment folk too, that's a kind of a set aside time. Okay, no other business to come before this Board of Adjustments. The meeting is adjourned.